We're going to extract some of these clouds and turn that into our beautiful new brush. I have a couple of tips for you before we start this. What I would suggest is that you select images where clouds have lots of detail. It's really easy to find cloud images out there on the web, but make sure you can see all the different little grays in there and they're not too completely white. We call that being blown out. It will make for a much better brush down the road. I would also suggest that you get a photo with some easily selectable clouds. Like there's plenty of blue around them and it's not going to make extracting those difficult. So let's keep those two things in mind and let's start with this project. Inside of Photoshop, I have this file, the Hayden Valley. You'll have access to this inside of the course content. So go ahead and download that and bring it up inside of Photoshop. The first thing I'm going to do is find the area of clouds that I really want to select. And as I'm looking through that, I'm seeing this area right here. I can probably select this out without a problem, and there's not a whole lot of gradient between the blues. Another thing to note about skies is that skies aren't one single color. They're actually a gradient. If I were to get my eyedropper tool and select the top portion, notice the deep blue over there in my colors panel. Now I'm going to switch that. I'm going to do the eyedropper again. I'll select the lighter portion, and now when you take a look at my color swatches, you can really see the vast difference between the two blues. So know that that's there. I'm going to go ahead and reset my colors back to the default by hitting the letter D, and that will put us back in good stead. Now, let's crop out those clouds. Grab your crop tool, and let's come down and grab from right here to right about there. That looks great to me. Tell it OK by clicking the checkbox, and then I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. That's better. Okay. When you create your brush, the portion of the image that is going to be seen needs to be black, and the background needs to be white. So we're going to need to invert this in order for that to be able to happen. To invert this, to turn it into black and white, go up to Image, Adjustments, and then down to Black and White, and click. Now you'll notice that the blue is kind of gray now. So we're going to need to tweak these colors to make that blue background even darker. So come over here to the blues slider right there, grab that and drag it down. Now you don't want to go too far because look how much detail I've lost over in my photo. Let's pull it back up some. That's a lot better. Yeah, I like that better. So, knowing that skies also have a little bit of cyan color in there, I'm going to grab the cyan slider as well and bring that down just a bit. Not a whole lot. Okay. Might always also bring that one down. And that's pretty much it. So that looks okay to me. I'm going to bring that back up to about -85, just so I can get a little bit more detail. Click OK. Now, one of the tips is to take your brush and go around the outside edge, because otherwise you'll have a very sharp, clear place that you see on your brush, and you don't want that. So get your brush tool, make sure that the black color is selected, and then go up to your presets panel up here and make sure that the hardness slider is set all the way to 0. This is something where you don't want a hard edge at all. So make sure that you've got your hardness at 0 for the softest brush you can possibly get. And now let's just go around the outside of the sky, making sure not to touch the cloud. All the way around. Great. I'm even going to paint over this little cloud, I think. Let's get rid of that guy. That's too easy. Now, let's save this before we go any further, because I don't want to damage my original file. Go up to File, Save As, Cloud Brush.jpg. Save that guy and click OK. So we're halfway there. The next step is that we need to invert this to make those clouds black and the background white. So go up to Image, Adjustments, and then you want Invert. Take note of the keyboard shortcut, because that's pretty handy to know. Click that. There it is. If you see any unwanted things in your brush that you want to get rid of, simply choose the color white and paint over those things with that soft brush, and that should help make your photo look your brush look really, really good. Great. Great. So now let's create the brush preset. Go up to Edit, Define Brush Preset, and if your image is not too big, it will allow you to go to the screen. If you can't go to the screen, that means that your cloud brush is more than 2500 pixels either wide or 2500 pixels tall. So make sure that your image is smaller than 2500 by 2500. Click OK. Actually, I'm just going to get rid of the .jpg and leave it as cloud brush. Click OK. And now you can see I do have a brush made of what we just created. So let's take this one step further and really apply it. Go up to File. Let's go back to Open Recent, and we're going to open up that Hayden Valley image. Get your eyedropper tool. Click the top corner where that dark blue is. Hit X to invert your color swatches. And let's come down and get a lighter color. I'm going to go to File, New, and we're going to call this Using Cloud Brush. I want a width of about 1000 by about 1000. Click OK. We're going to create our own horizon gradient. Click on the Gradient tool, invert your swatches by pressing X. Now, simply click and drag from the top. Notice that I'm not doing it exactly up and down. I want just a little bit off to be a little bit more real. There it is. Grab your brush tool. Make sure you still have your cloud selected. Hit D to set your color swatches back to the default. Hit X to move the white color to the forefront. And now, place your clouds. Isn't that cool? You notice how I'm putting my cloud in a little bit of a different spot. Oh, here's that little problem I was telling you about. Can you see the line right there? I should have done a better job with my brush. That's okay though. I'm going to come down here and place this guy. Yeah, you can't see that at all on the other ones. So why is this useful? I can't tell you the number of times that I've had to change out a sky for a web client that has taken a picture of their building that they want to have on their website. I have to crop out all the I have to crop out all the sky, create a gradient, and then put my cloud brush on top of there to make it look more appealing. So I thought I would pass this on to you. I hope you've enjoyed learning how to use this and create your own brush, and I will see you in the next video.